It's getting close. We are between Shreveport and Marshall. We are right here, right at the state line. And it's supposed to be bringing tornadoes and hail and all kinds of crap. Okay, so I've got this fitted. And then that will go like so. And now I'm going to square these shoulders up. My wife is riding her newly fixed lawnmower. Trying to hook up to her trailer. Okay, I got my shoulder squaring jig on here. Now I'm fixing to take this file, square the shoulders. I don't know if that's gonna probably wiggle a pretty good bit. If it does, I just won't upload it. I've already done this side. I'll show you the difference in sound. This side's almost done. Yep. Yep. Alrighty. Well, I have to look at that and see how. Okay, do you see how square the shoulders are now? Alrighty. Now my next step is this. Where'd my Allen wrench go? My Allen wrench that, come on, Brad, you keep losing crap. My Allen wrench to loosen these up. I gotta find that now. Okay, I put this on the belt grinder and thinned it out just a little bit. This is what it originally looked like. And that's what squaring the shoulders will do. Okay, now, this is an oily wood, so I gotta acetone this really good. And then I'm gonna put this on. First, I'm gonna wax the crap out of this here. All of this, you know, right in here. I'm gonna put a heavy coat of wax on it. Then I'm gonna slide this on. I'm gonna epoxy this. Slide it on, and then squeeze it together, and hopefully I'll be able to get this off of there. I can't think of any other way to do this but wax, and I got plenty of that. So that's my next thing. Let me get my epoxy mixed up and get this thing up, acetoned, and put some wax on that. We'll be back. Okay, there's my Squeezinator 3000. So say a little prayer that that will not stick to the knife. I have slathered on this Johnson's paste wax on all the parts where I do not want the epoxy to stick. I mean, I may have to take a hammer and, you know, tap on it a little bit. We'll see. So we will be back. This will sit here for tonight, overnight. The knife that I made with a blue handle, this matches that blue handle perfectly. It's a turquoise leather dye, but that looks more blue. As a matter of fact, it just about perfectly matches that blue handle. So when I make a sheath, I'm going to do the, just like you see here, blue, and then I'll do a black fade around the outer edges. I think it'll look nice. And I had some turquoise paint here, but that's way too light color, so I'm going to go with this. What in the trailer hood kind of clamping system you got rigged up there, Mr. BC Blades? I couldn't think of any other way to put pressure on that end cap but this here. So doesn't need to be a whole lot of pressure, it just needs to hold it flush. And then I needed to raise this up just a little bit, so I'll have a little bit of overhang on each end that I can sand off and make flush with the handle. So I just need it to hold for 5 or 6 hours. And tomorrow, when I come out, I will go to shaping. And I'm thinking about this here, not making it so much as a finger guard that hangs down, but just a nice little piece for the front of this. I think that'll work. So tomorrow, which is Saturday, so you'll see this Sunday. Had a good ride. Got all my goodies that I needed from Tandy. I got the dye that I need to dye the leather sheath. It's going to be a perfect match. And I think it'll also be a good match for this here. So what I'm going to make out of this is just a, this is my last Texas 45. That's the shorter one. The new Texas 45 is an inch longer. So it's going to go on here, and this is going to be, you know, a satin finish knife. And I'm not going to buff it out, but it'll be a nice, when I say satin finish, what I do is I sand them up to 600, and then I hit them with my buffer, and they got a nice shine, but not so much of a shine that you would be afraid to use it. Oh, you know what? I also thought of something else. What about, since I'm using the black on the ends, what about if I acid etch this and tumble it? I think I'm going to do that. I think that will look really nice. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. So tomorrow I'm going to make a knife, grind the bevels. I am going to have to shorten this by about, 3/30 seconds. And because I'm doing that 3/30 seconds there, I'll have to take 3/30 seconds off of here, so the tang will still be centered in the middle of the knife. And the reason I got to do that is because the handle that I'm trying not to waste is just a little bit below the edge of this knife, and I don't want it to be that way. I mean, what I could do is maybe, no, I'm not. I'm going to do that what I thought. I'm going to bring it 3/30 seconds of an inch in this way and 3/30 seconds of an inch in this way. So tomorrow's another day. It's time to feed the dogs, and I'm also probably going to do a little cleanup out here because it has been a while since it's seen any cleaning up, and I still got stuff that's just been tore up and destroyed from back when Shop Cat was here, and I still miss Shop Cat. That sure was a lovable little cat. She, all she wanted to do was lay on me and be petted. And when I would stop petting her, she would rub her head on my face. I don't know what that means to cats, but in the dog world, it means I love you. In cat's world, it probably means I own you or something like that. But okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good Sunday, y'all. All right, we are going to ride the motorcycles a little bit today, but I'm hoping that I could pull this handle. And we did have a little leakage, and I'm glad I put the paper towel under there. Oh, please don't stick. So let's see. First I'll try this. Nope. Gonna have to get barbaric on it. Okay, didn't have to get that barbaric. So that worked. Now I'm gonna shape that to the shape of the handle and then glue the back one on. And it will look something like that. Of course, this is gonna be thinned down too. We'll see. But right now I've gotta go I fed my cat. Now I'm going to get the motorcycles out, park them up there, and sometime today we're gonna go by a car wash and try to wash some of the bugs off these motorcycles that, you know, they're up in the oil coolers and the fins. So we're just gonna hit it with some pressure, see if we can clean them up a little bit on the road, and we'll wash them at home, because at the end of our road is a giant mud puddle. Because this I'm trying not to think about the audacity of raising the property value $12,000 in a year of my little old mobile home, and still I live on a third world road with giant potholes and a hump so high that Beverly's car bottoms out on it. Just amazing that a town could be so horribly mismanaged that they can't maintain the roads. Alrighty, I'm going to get my motorcycles out. Today I'm riding, and I'm not going to think about nothing but good and positive things. One of the reasons I'm riding is because I can't make any sheaths until I get some snaps and rivets, and I've got to go all the way over to Tandy in Bossier City to get what I need. So that's going to be a nice little trip. No, I got stuff up here. All right, we are back from our ride. Had a nice little ride, beautiful day, and bought these. And these are medium. These are large, and depending on the thickness of the leather, that's for the Hidden Tang knife sheaths, because they have a snappable keeper, or the handle, you know, around the handle. I don't know what you'd call it. Anyway, these are the snaps, 24 pieces. So that's basically, it's only 6 snaps. Alrighty, back to the shop. I almost forgot about this. We did have one exciting thing happened. We were on Interstate 49 going north, and this pickup truck passed us. We were going 70, cruise set on 70, and he had to pass us at 80, 85. And when he passed us, I looked in his bed, and he had a pallet of something in boxes. And he only had one little old tiny 1-inch strap over these. And it probably wouldn't have been bad, but he had the strap at the back end of the pallet instead of the front end of the pallet, where the wind would lift the boxes up. I mean, if you only had one, you'd want to put it closer towards, you know, beyond middle, closer towards the front, like maybe a third of the way from the front towards the back, if you only had one strap.
And when he passed me, I was thinking, oh Lord, I hope none of that comes off.
And it's funny, because I thought that when he passed me, I was thinking, boy, there's a wreck waiting to happen. And sure enough, the speed he was going,
where the wind was blowing like,
oh yeah, the wind was really hard, gusty wind. Sure enough, wind got under it, and the speed he was going, combined with the wind, tore off about the top 3 layers of boxes and 4x4s, and we come up on that shit and had to slam our brakes on and weave around all that crap on the road. And there he was on the side of the road, not going back to pick up all that crap on the interstate that could get people killed. He was tying down what was left of his pallet load of crap.
You know, and I did the slow down thing for the people behind me.
Yeah.
And all they did was jump in the hammer lane.
Yep.
I was
Jump.
trying
Yeah.
to go around
Right. You can see all this crap in the road, and instead of slowing down, the people behind us jumped in the hammer lane and kept on passing.
I was, the wind was kicking it up, and it was blowing everywhere, and I was trying to dodge what was coming at me,
Yeah.
and I was thinking, oh crap, a piece of that's going to fly up, hit my windshield, and stick to it, and I will be able to see. Yeah, that was my hair stood up over that one. That's the
And
first time
both of us, all these years of trucking, we have seen loads pass us that we just knew we were going to see down the road. Most of the time it was mattresses or a sofa. People would put a sofa on the back of a truck and take off and think those cushions would be on the sofa when they got there. And one at a time we'd see sofa cushions. And then down the road, we'd see a guy on the edge of the road with a pickup truck with a sofa in it and no cushion, scratching his head. Where'd my sofa cushions go? I can't believe they wouldn't stay there with a 75-mile-an-hour wind blowing them away.
The best one was, I was in the hammer lane, and the 75 was just a suggestion over there around between Phoenix and Tucson, right? At 75, you're just pissing people off. So I was out in the hammer lane trying to get around and get back over. That was all. I was just trying to find a spot to get in. And the pickup truck in front of me, same scenario, had a couch with cushions, and one of them blew off. I hit it. It went underneath the truck, and it exploded like a shotgun going off, and it was filled with feathers. And all the feathers came out the back of that trailer. I looked in my rearview mirror, and traffic had disappeared. They didn't know what I ran over, but they didn't want to hit it. That had to be the biggest bird. They didn't want any part of that. I had the interstate to myself.
Just east of Tucson, there's an exit, and we called it affectionately the asshole exit.
Yep, that's what it was.
And it was headed towards Benson out of Tucson.
It was Benson exit.
Was it a Benson exit?
Yep. It was that exit they took going south to...
Okay. Well, every single day, every afternoon at getting off time, here's what you would have people doing the speed limit in the right lane. And you would have all these people who had gotten off I think it's Raytheon, some big business there. And they would all be in the passing lane going 85 and 90 miles an hour. And then if you had 10 feet between you and the car ahead of you, they would shove their 9-foot, 9-inch car in there, slam their brakes on, and just barely make that asshole exit off ramp. Every single day. See, you know what we started doing? We started driving in the passing lane until we got past the asshole exit. And you talk about angry MFers.
Oh, I got told I was number one
every day.
time I went to.
But, you learn, you have to react to what the... and we're not slow. We're going 75, so it's not like we should be holding traffic up because we're doing the speed limit. But you didn't stand a chance. And every single day there was a wreck at the same exit for the same reason. I don't know what it is that people had to pass and come over in front of other people and jam their cars in front of people. And, just mind-blowing the speed people got to go when they're all going to the same exit and they're all going to the same town. It's just that it's so important to be 7 or 8 or 9 cars ahead, and it never works. And it screws up the traffic would be backed up for a half a mile because of the people that were in the hammer lane suddenly had to get into the right lane and then into the off ramp. and it was just a nightmare. So when we come through there, we would get in the passing lane and stay there until we got past the asshole exit.
So all you people that are watching this video and you're thinking back to that asshole truck driver that wouldn't get out of the hammer lane,
There's a reason he's
that's
not getting out of the
us.
hammer lane. Yeah.
That would be me.
And I guarantee you, other truck drivers over time who come through there all the time have figured out the game that you are a sitting duck, and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when you're going to have a wreck at that exit. So, and there's lots of exits. We, learned all across the country what exits to avoid or to be wary of when people got off work.
I can't tell you how many times I would be just driving along, minding my own business, and there'd be somebody right beside me honking the horn, flipping me the bird because they couldn't get over to get off.
Yep.
Like somehow or another, it was my fault that they had to be out of the passing lane to get off.
Yeah.
Okay.
The funniest one was up there in Indiana on 70, not Brazil. What's that next town? It's near the Wabash River, just before you hit the Wabash River. No, hon. No.
That's only Wabash River I can think.
No, it wasn't Terre Haute. It was a little tiny town. It had a pilot in it. And it was just before you crossed the river. And then, you're in Illinois shortly.
Terre Haute's the only thing I can think of.
Was it 70 or 50? It was 70, yeah. Well, anyway, there was the left lane closed. It was 2-lane highway, Interstate 70, left lane closed.
Oh,
and
you're talking about Effingham.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Effingham. It was
Okay,
in
I'm lost.
Indiana.
I'm out. I'm lost. I give up.
There's a little town before you cross the river. And we used to stop there every once in a while. But it was a nightmare to get on and off, and you had to make too many turns to get into the truck stop. Anyway, left lane's closed. You get flashing signs, warning arrows, signs telling you the left lane ends 5 miles ahead, 4 miles ahead, 3 miles ahead, 2, 1, half a mile, 500 feet, and still you got people in the lane that ends trying to pass. Well, I had 4 or 5 last few cars pass me, right? So now it's bumper to bumper in front of me. Of course, I'm in the right lane. And here comes this lady in the left lane. There's absolutely no more room ahead of me. And the orange cones are now starting to ease over, closing the left lane. Instead of hitting her brakes and getting behind me, she continues to drive beside me, honking her horn, and then she starts driving over barrels. I could not believe that was the choice she was making instead of hitting her brakes. To this day, when I think about people who, for some reason, can't take their foot off the gas and merge, or get behind, or slow down, always foot to the floor is always the option they choose.
Yeah, speed up.
And this lady had barrels. She had barrels stuck up underneath her van,
Flying over the
barrels
roof of her
going
van.
over the roof of her. And then all the construction workers are turning around and looking at this crazy lady, honking her horn, knocking over barrels. And then eventually she had no choice because, they were too many barrels underneath her vehicle. I just could not believe it. And, that wasn't a rare thing to watch people just do insane things.
People do that all the time.
All the
That's
time.
like a daily
All the time, yeah.
occurrence.
All the time. I don't know what it is about a lane ends, why people feel compelled. Not all people, but you can pick them out and you see them coming. The ones that cannot make their brain hit that brake, slow down, and find a safe place to get over. Especially when they see a truck. There's something that clicks in their brain where they have to, even if their life depends on it, get in front of that truck before you come into the construction.
Well, why do people speed up when motorcycles pass them?
I don't know. Happened today.
I can't tell you how many people.
Then 2 people that got on and they were, looked like they were together, and we passed the first one, and then
the other one took off.
the other one took off. So we got behind him, and he looked in his mirror, seen that we got behind him, and slowed back down. So we got out in the passing lane and just stayed there until he figured out what speed he wanted to go, and then he slowed back down. And then we didn't change our speed. He slowed back down. We got in the right lane and looked in the mirror, and he disappeared. People are weird, man. People are weird. Man, we had a hell of a rain yesterday. And of course you can see the sun is burning off the water. Couple of inches. I believe they call this a deluge. Get that toy. I threw the toy and it landed behind the broom right there. Can you see its little furry head sticking up?
Get the toy.
And she's afraid to get it because the broom
afraid of
has
the broom.
fallen a time or two. Get that toy. Go ahead and get
She
it.
may have been accidentally smacked a time or two with that.
Get that toy.
broom.
Go get it. Get that toy, baby.
Get the toy and quit barking at me.
Bring me
Get
that
the
toy. Get that toy.
Go get it.
Go get it. You can get it.
Go get the toy. Breezy. Breezy.
Go get
Go
the
get
toy.
the toy.
Go on. Go get the toy.
Yeah, he
Go get
really has been smacked by her and he ain't going for that. You are a big baby.
Come on. Is this what you want? Is that what you want? Is that what you want? I want to get that toy. Lucy Bell, I'm going to get that toy. You better bring it here.
Dental, hearing, and prescription drug coverage at no additional cost.
Lucy Bell.
You need to take action. Call a licensed insurance agent to help you determine if you're eligible for a special enrollment period. Call 800-378-9151. That's 800-378-9151. 800-378-9151. Call now.
All right, folks, gonna make it 3:17. Red weather alert continues. Severe weather in the Arctic Tex, mainly just flash flood warnings right now for East Texas, Upshur County, and also Rusk County. Too much rain falling in a very short period of time. No severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings at this time in our area. Tornado watch has been shaped back. It's pretty much Toledo Bend up to northeast Louisiana. This is still only begun until 6 o'clock for the potential tornadoes. The heaviest rain, the strongest storms now from the Minden area. Took on down to Coshada, working on down into Zwolle, and back over toward St. Augustine. That's moving to the southeast at 35 miles an hour. Very heavy rain associated with that showing up in the bright red color.